Hi, I'm Jim Lefebvre, manager of the Seattle Mariners. I've known Donnie Moore now for several years. I consider him a close friend, personal friend, and also a great motivator. He has been a great inspiration to me as well as to our players. He has a unique message, a great way of presenting it to players, to kids, and to everybody, especially teenagers. It's a message that everybody should hear. I support him 100%.
How you doing? I'm Dave Stewart of the Oakland A's. Donnie Moore is a personal friend of mine for about 3 years now. I've seen Donnie in action at Woodrow Wilson High. Donnie Moore that day talked about self-respect, self-esteem, education, and staying away from drugs. I saw kids responding, I saw kids reacting, and I've never seen one person hold control and the concentration of kids for more than an hour ever in my life in one situation. Donnie Moore is a person that you need in your school systems today.
Hi, I'm Dennis Eckersley of the Oakland A's. I've known Donnie Moore the past 4 years, and he's been a very big inspiration in my life. And I feel he has a very powerful message to send to all the youth of America. I encourage you to listen to him.
If Americans were asked what was this nation's most rapidly diminishing valuable resource, most would say oil, some would say water, and still others would say food. But in fact, our most valuable resource that has suffered the greatest loss is our nation's youth. Young people are being swallowed up by the ills of a cold and hostile society. Children are now faced with the responsibility of raising themselves. They have traded their cap guns for Saturday night specials, their Coca-Cola for cocaine, and their Barbie dolls for babies. They are a forgotten generation who feel they have no self-worth and no hope for the future. The leaders of tomorrow have become the casualties of today.
You're 13 and you've seen 4 people die or know of 4 people that have died that are friends of yours because of drugs?
Since December.
Since December. And so you figured you would try to take your life? Why?
Because I was molested and I didn't feel like I was worth anything. And I just wanted to get my life over with.
Did you feel that life wasn't worth living?
I felt that it was my fault.
Who turned you on to drugs at 7?
My stepfather and my mom,
Your mom and dad turned you on to drugs at 7 years old.
they deal drugs for a long time and stuff. And then one day they come home all wasted and stuff from the bar. They just handed me a joint and said, smoke it.
I look in the mirror and I say, gosh, why do you look that way? Why do you act that way? Why are you you? Why can't you be gone?
Have you ever attempted to take your life?
19 times.
19 times you've attempted suicide. Why?
So I don't want to live. I hate life.
The guy I just broke up with, he got me pregnant, and just Sunday, I had a miscarriage. I lost my baby, and
This is past Sunday.
I didn't want to tell him. I'm not going to tell him because I know exactly what he'd say.
What would he say?
He'd say it's your own damn fault.
Do you think you'll try to kill yourself again?
Probably. But I know the next time I do it, I'm going to succeed.
When you were gangbanging, or still in a gang, I don't know. But let me ask you this, would you kill? Would you kill somebody?
Of course.
No question.
No question.
You'd burn a house down? Would you burn a house down if they told you to, you had to?
I have.
They always go out and they drink. And they come home drunk.
Your mom and dad do? You hate them because they come home drunk.
And if I'll be at a friend's house, they'll come and get me, and then I'll get in the car, and then my mom, she'll just yell at me and tell me that it's my fault. And then if I try to just tell her something, she'll either try to hit me. we'd had a problem with her throwing ashtrays at me.
Well, he's a bad person. He's on drugs. Being on drugs doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're having a lot of problems, and that's the way you deal with it.
What's the hardest thing for you right now that you face as a teenager?
Reality.
Little girls and boys we throw away. Children, no one will be able to replace them.
Every day in the United States, 7,742 teenagers will become sexually active for the first time. Today, 2,800 teenage girls will become pregnant. Today, 1,100 teenage girls will have abortions. Today, 2,288 young people will run away from home. Today, 1,849 teens will suffer a form of abuse in their own home. Today, 437 teenagers will be involved in an alcohol-related arrest. And today, 6 teenage boys and girls will successfully take their own lives. The faces of our youth have turned into statistics, and the nation has been left searching for a solution. They are high-voltage excitement. They are sheer power in action. They are men who are profoundly changing lives. They are Donnie Moore and Radical Reality, and they are quickly becoming the most sought-after high school and junior high school assembly program in the western United States. Radical Reality is 3 world-class athletes who have dedicated themselves to reaching America's youth with a message of hope, a message that touched the lives of over 100,000 young people last year alone. Radical Reality is Donnie Moore, a former all-star quarterback who bench presses 450 pounds and is one of America's most in-demand youth speakers. Radical Reality is Darwin Benjamin, once a standout running back, now a recovered drug addict who has worked specialized gang programs with the California Youth Authority. And Radical Reality is Scott Ruiz, a former pro football quarterback who has traveled internationally, speaking to kids of all races and cultures. Together, they are men who display incredible feats of strength that keep young audiences captivated. But the true power lies in their words and their ability to reach young people right where they're at.
Every one of you in this room know what it's like to be put down. And my question to you is, if you know what it's like to put down, you know what it's like to leave a room and people are laughing and you know that you're the brunt of the joke, then let me say this to you. Then why do we put other people down and belittle them? If we know what it's like to hurt, then why do we line other people up and take them on and hurt them? The fact is this morning, you're either an image maker or you're an image breaker. And I'm talking about 3 areas that shape who you are. The first is appearance. The second is performance. We live in a performance-based society. In other words, our society says we accept you for what you do instead of who you are. And I want to say something to you today, and you need to hear this. If you are compromising your individuality, you're compromising your standards and who you are as a person to get people to like you, you're in big trouble. I want to say this to you, young lady. If you're here right now and you're sleeping with some dude to be accepted, you're not getting accepted, you're getting used. And you were never meant to be used straight up. Don't you let anybody use you. I mean that.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Man, you are more important than a red rag, a blue rag, a Plaka, a Norte, a Sereno, any of that, man. Your life is priceless. It's more important than any drug that you can buy or any alcohol you can buy in the liquor store. It's more important.
Don't let anybody compromise your individuality. You know what a good friend is? A good friend is someone that wants what's best for you. That's what a good friend is. Good friends brag about your strengths and defend your weaknesses.
Drugs will take you further than you want to go. They'll keep you longer than you want to stay. and they'll cost you more than you're willing to pay. With this rag I have right here, I could dip it in a blue paint bucket and it become blue. I could take it out and dip it in a red paint bucket and it becomes red. But there's only one of you. And this rag cannot hear, feel, see, touch, or smell, but you do. Then why does this rag have the power over your life? Answer that question for me. Why does it have the power of your life? I'm not here today because I want to put anybody down. Anybody can tell you who you're not. I'm here trying to tell you that you're important, that you have something to live for.
I'm so tired of going into high schools and saying, oh, what is this plaque on the wall for? Oh, they died. They let a bottle of beer steal their dreams and goals. They let a pill steal their dreams and goals. Young people, if you don't hear anything else I'm saying today, in the area of appearance, no two of you look the same. No two of us have the same fingerprints. No two of us talk alike. If you heard me sing, no two of us sing alike. That makes you pretty important stuff. You're the only one we have that's like you. That makes you valuable. I want to be an image maker, not an image breaker.
I loved it. If they had more stuff like this, it probably would be able to help a lot of kids our age, a lot of kids younger than us. It just really touched me real bad. It's great. I really got into it. I know I'm gonna think twice now. I really am.
Donnie Moore has a message that kids are not going to get in a classroom. It's a message of hope that everybody in the country needs to hear.
He really got to me today. He helped me a lot, and he helped me work out and feel. He brought up feelings that I hadn't brought up a lot, and he really stood up to people today. Like the guys in the audience and stuff, he stood up to them like nobody else has, and he really got a lot of points across for a lot of people.
I sat here and I watched it, and I watched some of our most hardcore kids with tears running down their face. The message got to them. They understood that they're ruining their lives. And Donnie's message and Scott's and Dee's message got through to them and touched these kids in their hearts. And I know that some lives are going to change as a result of today.
I guess the greatest example that I can use is a story my mother told me when I was little. There was a boy walking down the beach, and the little boy was picking up starfish, and he was throwing the starfish in the ocean. And there was all kinds of starfish, and the little boy would pick one up and throw it in. This man was watching him. This man walked up to him, and he said to him, "What are you doing, little boy?" And he said, "I'm saving starfish." And he would throw the starfish into the ocean, and the boy picked one up, and he got ready to throw it. And the man grabbed him by the arm and says, "What difference does it make anyway?" And the little boy looked down at the starfish in his hand, and he said, "It makes a difference to this one."
I appreciate every program that comes and tells you to say no to drugs. But you know what? I've been in over 40 states. I've never met a young person yet that has said to me, you know, I decided to say no to drugs because I saw a green sign. But you know what? I've met a lot of young people that have said to me, I've decided to say no because I have a cause. Maybe it's your little brother, maybe it's your little sister, maybe it's your church, your family. Maybe you're saying no to drugs and yes to your future. But if you're going to say no to anything in life, you got to have a reason. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this video. The problems are staggering, they're overwhelming. Recently, we were in Kent, Washington, where a young man came up to me after the assembly. He reached into his pocket, he pulled out a bullet. He said, this weekend, I was going to put it in a gun and blow my brains out. He said, but I'm not going to do it now. He said, because you told me that I am important. We were also in San Francisco, not too long after that, where a young man came up to me with tears coursing down his cheeks. He said, my name's Carlos. My mother's on crack cocaine. He said, I don't know who my father is. I've got a gun in my locker. I was going to kill myself today after school, but I'm not going to do it now. You know why? Because you today told me, Donnie Moore, that I'm valuable. I get letters, hundreds of letters now a week from young people just like Carlos and Jim, telling me that our high school assembly has made a difference. We don't charge the high schools 1 penny. What price tag can you put on a young person's life? I tell the administrators, we'll come for free. And that's where you come in. I'm asking you to send us to reach the youth of America. You see, we can't do it alone, but together we can make a difference.
she